I'm Daniel Kivatinos. I'm one of the co-founders of a company called JustPaid.io. JustPaid.io is a AI-based way to collect revenue. We are a startup, so we're using a lot of marketing tools with an AI spin on them to scale our company with less people and to really understand like the market. So we're leveraging everything that's been coming out very quickly, honestly.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Toper. I'm the co-founder of Inbox Booster. And what we do is we help companies using AI to fix email that are in spam by accident. So say you send a newsletter, it's ended up in spam. We're going to explain you how and why and how you can get back to the inbox, which means that we leverage AI tools and we're trying to understand how the AI, which is a spam filter, works.
I mean, one great thing is actually we are using Inbox Booster. Yeah. So I actually reached out to Nicolas to be a speaker on this panel with me. We had a moment where we were sending out all of these emails and we didn't know what was wrong, and we needed a really good tool that was kind of would give us the insights that we needed. So one really good use case for us was actually using his product, where we could honestly see what was going wrong with our email, because it's really a complex system where you're sending things from one place to another in the digital world, and you're like, why did the email get there? So I love the way that his tool had honestly fixed our problem really quickly, and he and his team honestly fixed things super fast for us. So just one thing there. Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
And one thing about email that's interesting is email with AI is actually ahead of the curve. In the sense, usually email is late, it's late, it's not really trendy. But in the case of AI, email is really ahead because what really happens is when you want to go through the spam filter, what you're really going through is how are the recipients liking your email, and the job of the spam filter is really to figure out which email is really who's going to like which email. And so my point is everybody's going to have to go through that in the next 2 to 3 years. Marketing will evolve a lot, and it will move from kind of a broadcast mode to something very, very personalized. But you still need to kind of have this new mindset of this personalization on the one hand, and on the other, kind of, is it working for everybody or not?
Great. Excellent. Any others? Any other honorable mentions? Tools that you're looking?
Sure. I'm not going to name names for tools per se, but we've saved, honestly, countless hours on marketing through Gen AI. So there's so many Gen AI tools out there now. I mean, one tool that I use that's super unique that I have not seen other companies use so far is I will create hundreds of YouTube videos, and from those YouTube videos, you can actually create blog posts. So basically, there's an AI tool here, there, everywhere. We drag the videos in, generates a complete blog post, literally in like exactly what you were talking about, and it's highly relevant. So that's just one tool out of like a whole toolkit that honestly, a very small team in our startup is using to leverage to build a fast-paced company.
And on our side, we're using ChatGPT quite a lot, like everybody else, but we find out that it's probably the easiest. The other thing that which actually goes to this same thing with email is because it's very, very easy to leverage to create a lot of content. What really works is really high-quality content.
Yeah. And is there anything that's perhaps not production ready, or anything that's not out there yet that you're excited for, things you've heard, signals of tools to come, or something you could see being put to use in your workflow that you'd love to have?
For me, honestly, I've been really looking at the video editing space quite a bit. And we've been using some tools that are in beta that are doing short video shorts and like layering in information on top of videos. It's really powerful. And I think that it's kind of the infant stages of this where it's okay, but it's not at the point where it's like a video, like a Hollywood type production quality. But I do see a world where you can literally have, 3 cameras going and literally it'll edit everything for you. And it'll save you like oodles and oodles of time. That's one area where I think it's so new, but I see that it's going to get there like fairly fast.
And one thing I've noticed with AI is it's actually going to what Daniel is saying. It's not very good to generate new content or new ideas. If you have kind of the snippet of the idea, the core set, then you can generate the rest for a very low cost. And that's kind of changing a lot because with just that idea, instead of having like a team to write the content and all that, then they can write something kind of good enough.
Yeah.
And even better than that, with that, so it's kind of, we're basically reduce the execution value to zero.
Awesome. Yeah. And when people are looking at tools and evaluating tools, do you have anything you recommend in terms of KPIs or indicators so they get the best value out of them?
One really good thing to do is maybe try a trial period of a month or 2 months or 3 months to see if you actually get good KPIs. It's really hard to tell unless you start to use a tool. I don't recommend buying like a 2-year package to something if you feel like you're unsure. So you could always say, can we do a 3-month trial and make, a 3-month over that 3-month payment? That's kind of like you kind of cut your losses if a product is not working after 3 months. But some of these tools are very expensive and you just don't know if they're going to work or not. So we've been like having like really 1 month, 2 month, 3 month trial periods, and we've cut a number of AI tools because we're like, this is just not working for us.
Okay. And the learning curve is just too much, or it's too costly?
Oh, they just don't work. So people will make promises and the product just won't work the way that you want it to.
Gotcha.
And on our, of course, the same, but on top of that, there are questions, how do you integrate that workflow within your marketing department? And this changes everything. When you're a startup, it's easier because there are less people, so you don't have to adjust because you can build your department around the tool. But when you're a marketing department that works with people, how do you kind of make that work and integrate it to the point that the sum of the part is bigger, that the work is bigger than the sum of the part?
Yeah, and like changing lanes a little bit, I'd love to talk about social and how you're leveraging that right now, how you're thinking about the space in scaling companies and growing.
I mean, social is social. So I think it's like getting out there. I mean, there's different strategies in social, right? One is like doing multiple blasts, many blasts per day. There's some marketers that'll do like 5 posts per day. And maybe leveraging AI to like at least do some of those posts would be enormously helpful. Like us, what we'll do is we'll have, we have several shorts out there in video form again. You don't have to use video, but any content. Blasting a lot is one strategy, or just posting one really high quality piece per week that you use AI to like do a lot of the research is also valuable. So it depends. Like I think Threads is a new platform, whether it's going to be as big as like X, Twitter, that's to be debated. But I do think that there's a lot of new up and comers. You'd be surprised who just come out, like TikTok. I mean, who knew TikTok would be so huge? And there's a lot of debate around TikTok, whether it's good or bad. I mean, for marketers, why not use it? Right? Because the market is so huge.
Yeah.
And on our side, for our business, it's a business that's kind of where a lot of people are saying nonsense. So what we do is we come over with data-based informations.
Yes.
We put that on social, and that actually brings us customers directly. That's because we come from a very specific place where all of our competitions are kind of saying how you can cheat around the spam filter, which is kind of obviously not a good strategy. So we're kind of one of the only ones doing that. In the case of Daniel, for your business, everybody's actually leading with data, but you, or are you? Right?
Yeah, excellent. And in terms of people looking to scale their businesses and grow, do you have any advice on hiring, say, AI marketing contractors or best practices in that space?
Honestly, for me, that's a really tough question to answer. I actually think it's moving so fast that I have not seen people that were that sophisticated in AI as marketers.
Okay.
It's so new, they're learning on the job. I think a lot of the most sophisticated people may not be marketers that are using the technology, that are like natural AI like marketers, and they don't realize it. Have I seen any dedicated AI marketers? More software tools than people. Okay. And then you just find people that are able to like learn on the job very quickly.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
And then the same exactly. We're I mean, now everybody we work with, they all use the AI actually, whether they told us or not, all contractors, it's kind of normal, it's part of the normal tool now.
Yeah, excellent. And then, I'd ask you about next year, but the landscape, as you know, is moving so fast. What are your kind of predictions for AI for the next while? What are you seeing? What are your early signals?
It's such a broad question.
No, I know. It's just like, I'd love to hear about kind of trends you see in AI marketing tools, just really dialing into the space.
I think there's a lot of these like huge databases of leads that are out there. And there's a lot of companies trying to leverage those huge databases of leads. And one of them is PitchBook. There's a lot of these like Apple Market, you name it. There's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these like huge databases you could purchase. I am seeing people tack in AI on top of that, this big trend in marketing where it's like you kind of get an all-in-one product where it has huge database of leads and then it has all this like smart tools to send out mass emails. I think that is a interesting space. I do think that a lot of people are leveraging that in like mass now, where to the point where it's almost saturating.
Right. Okay.
And people almost ignore a lot of emails or text messages just based off of, people have my information. I got 2 spam calls yesterday and, they were in my area and they literally had the same pitch. And I'm like, how did they get this information? It's probably from one of these databases, but I'm going to see it being AI-based phone calls later where you wouldn't even know it's a human. Yeah. Right? If that's legal, if they could get to that point.
Yeah. I think it's, well, to hear your thoughts.
So what happened with spam email? Like a lot of like what you just described about cold email, receiving like 5 or 10 emails per day about stuff you don't care. And companies trying to figure out what you want. This is what will happen with everyone. And there is a huge shift because like those algorithms behind, like to filter what you want to receive, whether in social or in email or even with phone calls, they used to work with signals with how other people would behave, and now they're going to work through AI only. So that's actually a huge shift, because it means they're moving from how other people have reacted, like do they like my email, do they like this post, or do they like this post, and has everyone like you liked it or not, to something that's a lot more personal. And that's actually going to change a lot. So that's on the first thing. And the second idea is a lot of the, like, again, just writing good content or writing or having a nice illustration, which used to be actually something important a year ago. Now everybody can do it. And you can even ask ChatGPT, DALL-E, or Midjourney to not look like an AI image. So what next? How can you differentiate yourself? Because marketing is really about how can you be different from the others. And if everybody can call anyone, how are you different?
So those table stakes have just completely raised. Exactly.
I mean, I think it's like a layer of onions. One is it getting delivered even? Like, is my email getting delivered? And there are like some tools out there that'll give you insights into yes or no, but Inbox Booster, the team gave us like what exactly was wrong and fixed our basic deliverability. Then based off of that, we were layering in different messaging based off of different AI tools to see like what would have a better open rate. Open rates have gone up, but without Inbox Booster, we wouldn't have had even a chance to like be seen. So, I mean, maybe you want to expand on this also.
Yeah. So the way spam filter works, to make it simple, is you have kind of a generic spam filter for everyone, especially on Gmail or on Outlook. So, are your email going to be able to reach the inbox in general for most people? And then you have a personalized spam filter that kind of like, oh, I see that you like email about travel, so I'm going to put that email in your inbox. And I see that you hate emails about insurance. So everything that's about insurance, I'm going to put them in spam. So you really have these 2 layers, like the base layer for everyone and the personalized one. And what we do is Inbox Booster is really tackle only the generic one, because that's the one you want to work on. Because if somebody don't want to receive your email, and that's because of that personalized spam filter that sits in spam, then it's kind of a good thing, actually.
I think, honestly, maybe just using the tools daily and signing up for the tools to see like what might work people will give you access as a marketer to their tools, at least for a couple of days. If they're afraid to do that, they're hiding something. So you want to say, can I get a trial period of 1 week? And if they say no, question that, because they may not have a product that actually works. Test a lot of different products. That's all I have to say about like really like what's going to work for you. I think every marketer is different. Everybody's going to cling to certain tools other than others. I haven't seen like one tool that beats them all. There's like different tools for different like things that you need to get done. There's AI like audio generation. There's text generation. There's photo generation. There's AI for spam. So I think it's like, what do you need for the day, and finding that best tool. It's funny is I looked in Perplexity. I don't know if you raise your hand if you know Perplexity. Does everybody here know that? Okay. Everyone here in the room should try Perplexity. I asked Perplexity before coming here, like, what tool should I use for AI marketing? And it gave me a whole slew of tools. And I've never looked at those tools. So like asking ChatGPT, asking Perplexity, asking Gemini or Anthropic. These are all different like querying products. But asking an AI tool, what's a good AI product, is honestly a good way to start. And then you could go to Google and all these other places, but there's just so many different tools. And some of them that are really gold nuggets are not featured, which is kind of sad. Like a lot of the tools that I use are just not like in any of those search results. And I'm like, all right, these companies are just not known yet because they're moving so fast. They're so new. So it's like really just digging and trying things. I would recommend trying things for at least an hour a day as a marketer, at least. Anyway, this is some feedback from me.
And on my side, the thing with marketing is at some point, a lot of people, like there are jobs where it's really just clicking. And for instance, like writing blog post, writing a social media post, those jobs are going to disappear. Or there's going to be like where you had 5%, there's going 5%, then there will be needing only 1. So that means that there is an opportunity here and there is problems. So you need to kind of adjust. And that means that I would really think more about the strategic part of this thing. Like for instance, how if one person can do the job of 5, then what should I be doing to be that person?
I would say yes, there are, but those publications are biased and probably outdated. So what I mean by biased is an investor might make a list of 36 AI tools that you should use. If they're putting that out as an investor, like how many of those companies have they invested in? So they're blocking it. It's a really good thing to look at that stuff, but also just be aware, like you're getting a report that might be biased towards some person's perspective. That there's so many tools out there that you want to like look. I think one report it's interesting to look at, but you want 30 reports. Like if you really are spending the time and you're a marketer, you should probably be looking at as many reports as you can about the industry. I've just been seeing piecemeal, like I'll run into somebody and they'll say, I'm working on this tool, will you try it? Or I work at a company and there's this tool, will you try it? I tend to like those approaches better because you get access to the tool immediately and then you try the tool. But if you have a report, you could try all the tools that you think are relevant to you as a marketer, but I wouldn't be so fixated because even Perplexity gave me a result that didn't list any of the tools that I used. So like this is, I was asking one of these algorithms, like what should I use? I'll probably test a lot of those tools out, but I'm not going to like just wait for other tools to come along. So I do think LinkedIn is a place that you see a lot of this happen. Like follow Y Combinator. Do you guys know Y Combinator? Yes. Just type in Y Combinator, follow on LinkedIn. They tend to make mass investments in AI tools, and a lot of them, I mean, Nicolas's tool actually was invested in by Y Combinator. So I would just follow like what are the trends there, but also look at like TechCrunch and other places to see like, okay, who's getting like massive adoption even. So
that plus follow the main VCs also, because they do invest a lot and they all write those reports that Daniel mentioned.
I mean, for me, I can tell when AI generally generates an image and it doesn't look some of the time like they put in the effort. Some of these tools are not as good as they should be. And people will post very quickly en masse, like they'll post image, text, whatever, LinkedIn or one of these social media sites, and you'll just immediately get a sense, oh, this is AI. So I don't know how to, lift your quality up, making it about you more than the AI just generating mass things out there. I don't know if that answered your question, but I think it's not perfect, but yeah, maybe you could expand.
On my side, I think AI is kind of like a bicycle for the mind, to use this old idea. It's really good if you want to iterate really fast, and that's how you lift your quality. So you write a text, for instance, and a blog post and say, okay, improve it. You have ChatGPT to do that. And then you rewrite it again and again. Basically, it's not very good to generate content so far, but it's very good to get a piece of content and make it shine, if that makes sense. So so you can say, okay, as to reuse Daniel's example, take a 3 hours video, you can say summarize it or give me the interesting part of it. And that starts to be interesting, because out of those 3 hours video you can ask ChatGPT or anything to extract the key 30 seconds. And that's actually a lot of work you're saving, because you don't have to listen to the 3 hours video. And so it's really good for that. And it's really good for iteration, like ask something like 10 times to someone that you would never dare to do because it's annoying. Like editing, this type of work, that's where it's really, really good. But for inventing new stuff, so far it's not really good.